What do you want? Come on, go away. All right. I'll come. I gotta go now. Business. I'll be back later. All right. Where's the money? No, I don't want that. I know what to do. We discussed this together several times. Here, hold this. You haven't paid me enough for this. Do you hear me? I want more money. The authorities would pay well for the information I could give them.
Dr. Pierre, have you anything to say before sentence is passed?
I will say this, my lord. All I did was to try to save the life of my patient. Had the members of the medical council shown any confidence in their task, they would have realized that death was inevitable and in no way caused by my actions. And may I ask the court once more to contact Professor Bernhard Meinster of Geneva. He knew my work and will tell the court that what I did was justified. That is all I have to say.
You have said nothing that you have not already said during the course of this trial. However, to put your mind at rest on one point, the court took the liberty of writing to Professor Meinster and placing before him the facts of this case. I have here his reply. Your Honor, I know nothing of the man who calls himself John Pierre, and I feel bound to condemn most severely his actions in this matter, and express the hope that the law will deal with him in the fullest severity. Jean-Pierre, you have been found guilty of malpractice leading to murder. The sentence of this court is that you be confined to the penal institution on Campbell Island for the remainder of your natural life. The court is adjourned.
Uncle, must do something to help me.
Yes, dear.
We will.
Oh, don't deceive me. Oh, never leave me. I'll put out for later.
Getting posh in here, aren't we?
La-di-da, I called it. Come on. This a tea, your lordship?
This little chip doesn't care to partake. The prisoner Pierre. There's a visitor for you. This little chip has a visitor. In here.
But I can't see anyone in here.
In here or not at all? This way, miss.
You shouldn't have come here, Madeleine.
I had to see you. John, why did this have to happen? We would be married next week. Everything
It'll
was...
be all right. You'll see.
I'm leaving for Geneva to see Meinster.
Good. That letter needs some explanation. He'd never have written like that.
I'll find out, I promise.
Aren't you going to introduce us, your lordship? You can't keep a good thing like this to yourself.
You'd better go, my dear.
What's the matter, your lordship? Forgotten your manners?
Come on.
Is she lovely, ain't she? She's in here. Your lordship, what should give you? Let's have a look.
Oh, his lordship don't want to show us his pretty little gewgaw. Well, perhaps we'd have to take it off him.
Oh. Oh.
Leave that. The prisoner Pierre. Free the legs, leave the hands. The party for Campbell Island to remain here. The prisoner Pierre to come with me.
Where are you taking me?
Something special for you, Pierre. Something very special. Here's your prisoner.
Inside.
Are you a doctor?
When I talk to you...
Answer me, do you hear?
Yes, I'm a doctor.
In case you ever think of leaving us. Come on.
Gaines. What's this? Prisoners aren't allowed personal possessions.
All right, friend. He's gone. Who was that? Wetzler. He's the head warder. I don't imagine I'm going to like him. Believe it or not, friend, he's the least of the evils you have to contend with here. You can curse the fates that sent you here. Well, this is the abyss, the bottomless pit of hell itself.
What's all the noise about?
It's the unfortunates who, for various reasons, aren't going to get any breakfast. It's a punishment.
Starvation?
One of the minor punishments.
Here.
You better stand away from that door unless you want another crack on the skull.
You not hungry this morning? We shan't waste this good food. Eat well. Have some work for you to do later.
Start digging. Not too deep, or you'll disturb the present occupant.
Who's dead?
Nobody. Yet.
Then what? This man's too ill to work.
Who says so?
I say so.
You're not a doctor now, my friend. You're a prisoner. Get back to your work.
I tell you, he's...
Up. Get up, I said. We'll see if that dog can move you.
It's Dr. Calistratus.
Who was that?
Calistratus.
Who's he?
You'll find out, friend. Stop talking.
I was willing to swear that that man couldn't raise a finger. Even the threat of the dog wouldn't move him. Then this...
Calistratus.
Yes, he arrives. And the man finds the strength not only to get to his feet again, but to do the work with the strength of two men.
Here.
I know. But what sort of fear can inspire those reactions?
Look, friend, there are no words to describe the horror of that name. What you learn about Calistratus, you've got to learn for yourself. You can't be taught. Enough that he's in complete charge here. Our absolute lord and master. Soon you'll see what that phrase can mean. There's the grave we dug this morning.
But you said no one was dead.
There's your claimant for the grave tomorrow. At least what will be left of him.
This is the year 1880, not the Middle Ages.
This is a prison for the criminally insane, whose families and friends have forgotten.
My friends haven't forgotten. There was certain evidence at the trial that did not come to light.
They won't be able to help you. No one can.
Why do you say that?
Because once a man sets foot in this place, he never leaves. Do you know why I'm here? My wife was very beautiful. Too beautiful. There was a man who wanted her for himself. He was the mayor of the village in which I lived. It was simple for him. One night in a tavern, I quarreled with a man. Later, they found his body with my knife stuck in his back. I didn't have a chance. The rest you know. I'm here, and my wife.
I'm sorry, Kurt.
There's no help. At least not from the outside.
What do you mean?
When you realize that no one can help you, perhaps then you and I can help each other.
Out. Not you. Just Pierre. Where are you taking me? For Dr. Calistratus? Over here.
Enter. I am Dr. Calistratus. You're perhaps wondering why you've been sent here. Your original destination was to be Cambold Island, I believe. You're here because I sent for you. It's the prerogative of those of us in charge of prisons to ask for any prisoner whom we consider would benefit our own particular establishment. Now, I've read the reports of your trial. I think you come into that category. Will you follow me, please? This is my laboratory. This is where you will work.
Work?
You were confined to prison for attempting to do something that no one has ever done before. Transfuse blood from one being to another. Now, you must have believed in what you were trying to do. I, too, believe it can be done. Here we shall attempt to do it together.
Do I understand that you want me to work on medical research?
If you so choose, you can sit in your cell and rot. But I don't think you will.
No, I won't.
Good. Good. Now, tell me, in your work with blood, what did you discover about the groupings?
Only that there were different types of blood. Very little else.
Did you not discover that to inject one type of blood into a body bearing a different type could be dangerous, even fatal?
To my cost.
That is why all species of blood must be classified, so that the same mistake is not made again. Now, here we have two entirely different blood groups. For want of a better name, I'm calling them Group A and Group B. I want you to observe the different blood structure of both these groups.
Yes, I see the difference.
And now I'm going to add more of the Group A blood onto the A slide. You observe the effect. You see, they mix quite naturally. Well, now I'm going to add some of the Group A specimen onto the other slide. Now, will you tell me what you see?
The groups do not mix. They seem to be fighting one another.
They will destroy each other. The same thing could happen in a human body. So the first phase of your work will be to classify and to learn the various blood groups.
Where do I obtain them?
There are enough prisoners in this establishment to give you all the specimens you require.
And the second phase?
The isolation of a rare and dangerous blood condition. You'll learn about that when your first work is completed.
I see.
Meantime, you're still a prisoner. You will not be allowed to leave here. But inside, you will have freedom of movement.
Thank you.
Here are some of my research notes. Will you study them? Oh, one other thing. Your work will bring you in contact with many of the prisoners. You'll hear many strange and fantastic stories. Perhaps you already have. Remember, Pierre, you are in an institution for the insane, the criminally insane. 3/4 of what is said here can be completely discounted as the raving of imbeciles. Carl will show you to your room. Carl, you'll remain there today. Tomorrow we start work together. And Carl, will you get those manacles removed?
Let me have him back now. I have some work for him to do. Well, when? A prisoner with privileges. I never thought I'd see that in this place. Watch your step, Pierre. One day you'll slip up, and I'll be looking after you again. Don't you touch me, you dirty little ape!
Carl, Wexler, I want the prisoner's manacles removed.
Thank you, Carl.
Patient ready.
No! Don't! Please! Leave me alone!
Soon, Carl, I shall be able to dispense with the blood of others. With Pierre helping me, the solution of my problem will be much quicker, easier. What are you doing here?
Oh, I'm sorry, Doctor.
When you first came here as my housekeeper, I warned you to confine yourself to my living quarters. You've chosen to ignore my warning and to pry into matters which do not concern you. Now that you are here, you must pay the forfeit for your curiosity. Carl will see that you're taken care of.
Oh, no, please, Doctor. I won't say a word to anyone. I promise you.
Carl, take her away.
No!
Since you're so interested in my work, there's no reason why you should not assist me. My experiments so far have been confined to male blood groups. I think the time has come to extend my activity.
As soon as this young lady told me what had happened, I came at once.
And you say you never received this letter from the court at the time of the trial?
If I had, I would have come immediately. You know that, my dear.
So this letter, purporting to be from you, was in fact a forgery?
It must have been.
I see. Well, in the light of these facts you've laid before me, Professor Meinster, I shall review the case. Then perhaps we can take steps to discover who perpetrated this deception and with what reason in mind. Ah, Oran. This is Monsieur Oran of the Prison Commission. Oran, I'm going to review the case of one Jean-Pierre at the request of Mademoiselle Duval. Notify the commission immediately.
Yes?
That is all I can do, my dear.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
I'm sorry. It's the last one. I'll have to get another from the laboratory.
Can't it wait?
Dr. Calistrata said he wanted blood samples from everyone in this block. You go. I'll wait here.
Be back in a minute.
Hello, Kurt.
John, for heaven's sake. I thought
That I was dead?
it's been over a week since they came for you. What's happened?
I work here now.
What do you mean, you work here?
Calistrata's found out that I was a doctor. I'm helping him. I've come to take a blood sample.
Not from me, you won't.
It's only a sample I want. I've taken one from every prisoner here.
I'm not going to be dragged down to that laboratory and experimented on.
What is there about the laboratory that frightens you?
What about the room below the laboratory? What about the ones that go in there? Well, you saw that man dragged off that time.
He died of a heart attack.
Ha! Who told you that? Your doctor friend? I saw two of the men who were detailed to bury him. They told me his entire body had been slit open, and there was nothing left of him.
He may have performed an autopsy. It's not unusual in the case of sudden death.
Another thing. All the blood had been drained out of his body. It was only just skin and bone. Ask your doctor friend to explain that. And ask him about the man last week. The one we had to bury without his head. I was on that burying party myself. Quick. No.
There you are. Be more careful in future.
It's all right. I've got what I want in here.
Carl, fetch me down slide 34.
Is the doctor down there? Let me pass, Carl.
Carl, what's keeping you? What is the meaning of this? As Carl's unable to, perhaps you will explain.
I apologize, Doctor. I merely wish to pass through the door. Carl tried to stop me.
Is that right, Carl? Why did you want to go through that door?
I wanted to find out what is down there.
That is no concern of yours.
If I'm to assist you, I should understand the full scope of your work.
You will learn in good time. Meanwhile, you'll please concentrate on the groupings. Carl, you may go. But remember, you will not leave that door open again. Have you completed the groupings?
Nearly. I only have to classify them.
Good. And you can start on the second phase of your work.
Which is?
You remember when you first came here, I spoke of a blood condition which I was trying to isolate.
Yes?
Now, this condition breaks down the living blood cells and forms a completely new group. The cells in this group cannot be mingled with any other groups. But somewhere there must be a combination of groups that will not be antagonistic towards it. We must find that combination.
How are you going to do that?
Trial and error, a laborious task, but the only way, I'm afraid.
You've experimented before with this group.
Naturally, why do you ask?
On the prisoner who was taken from his cell the other night.
You've been listening to the ravings of those poor wretches, and I warned you about that, Pierre, when you first came here. Don't let me have to warn you again. Come in.
Monsieur Oron's waiting to see you, sir.
Thank you. Will you continue with the classification? I'll return soon. Oren.
Good morning, Callistratus.
You here in your capacity as inspector of prisons, or is it purely a social call?
Little of both. Firstly, the Commission are getting disturbed at the number of deaths at this establishment. You must do something to cover it up, Callistratus. The Commission will be bound to take action otherwise.
That is your problem. I pay you well, earn your money.
I know, but you're making it extremely difficult for me.
What was the other thing you wanted to talk to me about?
The prisoner Pierre. He's to be released.
Why? When?
His case was reviewed. They found out that the letter he sent to... What's his name?
Meinster?
Yes. They found out that it never reached him. Meinster came to Karlstadt himself.
This is unfortunate.
If it were ever found out that I intercepted the letter and replied to it myself, I'd be finished. I forged Meinster's signature.
This is most unfortunate. Something will have to be done.
I knew you'd help me out. I only did it for you.
When will the release order be through?
A week, perhaps 10 days.
Good. Good. That's all, thank you.
But what are you going to do?
All in good time. Now, if there's nothing else, I have work to do. You'll excuse me. Will you tell Pierre I wish to see him?
You won't forget what I told you about the deaths here. The Commissioner worried.
The Commissioner always worried. Now, unless you want to meet Pierre, I suggest that you wait for Carl in the next room. He'll see you out as soon as he's finished.
I wish I knew what you intended to do.
Good day. Come in, Pierre. I've just had a visitor, a member of the prison commission. Among other things, routine things, he brought up the matter of yourself.
What did he say?
He told me that in the light of new evidence, your case has been reviewed.
It's what I've been waiting for.
He went on to say that the court could find no grounds to reverse their original decision.
I don't understand.
It grieves me to have to tell you this, Pierre, but your sentence must stand as passed. The court found there were no extenuating circumstances.
But didn't Meinster testify? Didn't I get in touch with Meinster?
I'm afraid I'm not aware of the details. I only know what I've been told. Of course, I shall do all in my power to see that you continue your work here. That way your incarceration will weigh less heavily on you. That is all. Pierre, that is all. You may return to your room. You'll be excused work for the rest of the day. Here, will you help me, please? I must keep this man alive. Cardiac stimulant.
He's suffering from a serious blood deficiency. How much have you given him?
You misunderstand, dear. I'm not giving him any blood. I'm taking it from him.
How much have you taken?
Nearly 2 liters.
You must be mad.
I'm not interested in your opinion of me. I'm interested in keeping this man alive, the stimulant.
You've got to start a transfusion on this man immediately.
Got to? You telling me what I must do? Pierre!
Better! He's dead.
It was to prevent that I sent for you.
You killed him, Callistratus. You murdered this man.
And you ruined an important experiment, which is infinitely worse. That's right. Pierre's returning to his room. Will you see that he gets there?
Guard. Guard.
What do you want?
I want to go into the cell block to see the prisoner Kurt Urak.
Why?
It's on the doctor's business.
I know nothing of this.
Perhaps you'd like me to wake him up so that he could tell you.
No, wait a minute.
The one you mentioned the night I arrived.
What plan?
I want to hear about it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I had to lie to get in here. I want to know what that plan is.
Here you are, Callistratus' pet lapdog, trotting around doing his dirty work for him. And you expect me to fall for it? Who put you up to it, Callistratus or West?
I'm serious. Are you with me, or do I have to try it alone?
All right. Let's assume for one moment that you mean what you say. Why have you changed your mind?
They reviewed my case.
And the verdict stands? I warned you, friend, didn't I?
Yes, you did. But you also said you knew a way we could break out. Now you're going to tell me what it is?
All right. I'll tell you. Cost more than one life to get these. This will unlock the door to the cell and the door to the corridor. That's stage 1. Easy. And stage 2 is the difficult one. Getting across the compound to the wall. The dogs will have to be taken care of. That's where I need your help. I need some poison. Can you get any?
I think so.
Good. So this is what we'll do. I know the prisoner whose job it is to feed the dogs. Now, tomorrow night, when we've got the poison,
I feel we've progressed well today, Pierre. I'm bound to admit, you're a great help to me.
Thank you, sir. What do you want? There's something important to tell you.
Whistler was for letting you follow that man into the courtyard. Perhaps I should have let you.
You knew. You could have stopped it.
Yes, I could have stopped it. But sometimes it's necessary to have an example to show the imprudency of certain actions. Remember what has happened, Jean-Pierre. Let it be a deterrent against further similar occurrences.
I am sorry, my dear young lady. One more day and the release order would have become official.
Are you sure there couldn't have been some mistake?
Quite sure. I have the report here from the governor of the prison. Pierre and another man were both killed while attempting to escape.
Excuse me, can tell me when Can you tell me when Dr. Callistratus will see me?
I told him you were here, miss. He's busy at the moment, I'm afraid, but he won't be long.
Thank you.
Is the housekeeper's room ready? Be prepared to take her there as soon as I've seen her. I'm sorry to have kept you waiting. The duties of a prison governor are long and sometimes arduous.
I understand, sir.
Please sit down.
Thank you.
Good. Now, whilst I'm delighted at the choice of the prison commission in selecting you, I feel bound to admit that I doubt their wisdom.
I'm sorry, sir. I don't understand.
This is a prison. More than that. It's hardly the place for anyone so young and beautiful as yourself.
But I was told by the commission that I shouldn't have to enter the prison.
That is true. If I had known you to be the choice, I should have asked the commissioner to replace my housekeeper earlier. Much earlier.
I shall try and do my best, sir.
I'm sure you will. Now, Carl will show you to your rooms. Carl, this is Mademoiselle Duval, the new housekeeper. He is my faithful servant. You can trust him.
Sir, look at this.
Pierre, we've discovered that the destructive power of this group can be temporarily halted by normal transfusion. We're halfway to a permanent cure.
If it's such a rare condition, I don't see why we're bothering. After all, there are many more important things we could be working on.
There's nothing more important, nothing. For 6 years, I've been working on a cure for the evil degeneration of the blood cells. To suffer from this complaint must be the most terrible affliction of all time. What is it? Here, now. All right, tell him to wait. I'll see him later. After this discovery, Pierre, we shall do no more work today.
This card, the one for Kurt Urek.
What about it?
Kurt was killed more than a week ago.
I know that.
There's an entry here on a blood classification dated yesterday.
Nonsense. Yes, you're right. Careless slip. I'll alter it. You return to your room.
all right for you, Callistratus. You're not under constant... What is it?
John, my darling. I knew it couldn't be true when they said you were dead.
Who said that?
The prison commission. They said you were killed trying to escape the day before your release came through.
My release? Meinster testified? So he was lying.
Who?
Callistratus. But what are you doing here?
I was sure you wouldn't try to escape when you knew I was going to see Meinster. I had to find out for myself what happened. So Uncle Philippe used his influence to get me this job as housekeeper.
You mustn't stay here, not for a moment. If Callistratus finds out who you are, tomorrow you must leave. Make some excuse, anything to get out of here. Then go straight to the authorities, tell them what you know. They'll know what to do.
Very well. I'll come down immediately.
I tell you, this business of Pierre and the other man dying like that, it's going to cause a lot of questions.
Perhaps the commission would rather I let them escape.
You've had too many mysterious deaths here. Other prisons don't have this trouble.
This is not like other prisons. Come in. This is Mademoiselle Duval, my new housekeeper. Monsieur Oran.
It's a great pleasure, my dear young lady. Tell me, have we not met before?
I don't think so, sir. Is there anything else you require, sir?
That's all, thank you.
You know, Callistratus, I'm sure I've seen her somewhere before.
All quiet.
Dog's a bit restless.
Open up. I'm going out.
Give me your rifle. And bayonet. Hurry!
Enter. Well, what is it?
It's Wetzler, sir. He's dead.
Where did this happen?
At the burial ground. There was an open grave.
I shall come and see. Well, excuse me, Oren.
Carl? Where's the housekeeper, Carl? I too shall retire. I've had a long day. Tell the doctor when he returns.
What are you doing here?
Come, my dear. It's not as though we're complete strangers. Or had you forgotten our previous meeting?
I don't know what you're talking about.
No.
If you don't leave, I shall call Dr. Callistratus.
Please do. I'm sure he'd be delighted to know that we had met before. Where was it? In the Chief Justice's office, if I remember correctly. Now, will you call him, or shall I?
No. No, don't call him.
Of course not. So much nicer with just the two of us here, isn't it? I brought you some wine. I thought we might drink a toast together to our friendship. You're very beautiful, my dear. Much too beautiful to remain in a place like this. Such fair skin, so smooth, soft.
Carl's fault. He was helping me. Oren came in here and tried to force himself on me. Then Carl...
She's lying. I came here to find out where I'd seen her before. And I'll tell you, in the Chief Justice's office. Go on, ask her what she was doing there.
You're the one that's lying.
She's trying to trick you, Callistratus. They sent her here to find...
Get out, Oren.
I tell you, she's...
Get out.
I'm leaving. But you haven't heard the last of this. I've done enough covering up for you. Now I'm going to make a full report to the Prison Commission on the work you're doing here.
Release him.
Carl,
gentleman is leaving. My dear young lady, how can I apologize for this unfortunate incident?
Thank you, Doctor. But it's all right now.
Yes, my dear, it's all right.
You sent for me, sir.
Yes, will you come over here, please? I must apologize for this late summons, but Oren's stupidity has forced me to come to certain decisions. I'm afraid there's no time to lose. Will you come with me, please? Through here. This is my other laboratory. Only Carl and myself have ever been down here before. The practical side of my work distresses you? Come, let me explain. This is a little experiment of mine to determine the effects of deep freezing on the human body. This man is being kept alive artificially. He has no heart. I have recreated mechanically the stimulus provided by the heartbeat. Here is his heart, for which he had no further use. So I borrowed it, shall we say. More important, someone who knew you. Knew you very well. Don't worry. The young lady is not leaving. Carl, fetch that crowbar and bring it here. Do as I say, Carl. Now chain Pierre to the wall. And remember, this gun is trained on both of you. Get the operating table ready. I hope you approve of my real workshop. As a fellow doctor, you'd have enjoyed some of my experiments. The girl, Carl. Carl, the girl. Strap her to the table. Do as I say, Carl. Very well, I shall deal with you later. Leave the laboratory. What I'm doing is no concern of yours. Now leave. Carl, stay where you are. And now to put our theory into practice. We shall soon see whether all my work has been in vain. With the aid of Mademoiselle Duval here, I'm going to transfer the bloodstream from one living person into another. This will make you sleep, my dear. You will feel nothing.
Callistratus! Leave her alone! If you must experiment on someone, why not me? Why not me, Callistratus?
Once I was a doctor like yourself. Like yourself, I experimented with conditions of the blood. They called me a vampire. Sentenced me to die, to be impaled with a stake. But during my work, I discovered and isolated a culture which allowed life to remain dormant in me, although my heart had been damaged. So after my execution, Carl, with the aid of a drunken doctor, resurrected me. I changed my name and started life afresh. But this culture proved a double-edged weapon. It saved me from an early grave, but it created an infection in me, in which one group of cells in my body is destroying the other. Kurt here has proved an ideal companion. At last he will have some company.
Kurt.
Kurt doesn't talk. He doesn't even move about. He just stays where he is without complaining. Don't you, Kurt? Hmm? I'm not sure he even understands what's being said to him. I may say I performed a miracle of surgery in keeping him alive. The dogs were particularly savage that night. Kurt has been infected with the same disease that I am suffering from. In a concentrated form, of course. Now, I intend to take Kurt's blood from him and substitute fresh, clean blood. If Kurt survives the experiment, I shall have succeeded.
Kurt, can you hear me? Kurt! This is John Pierre. You mustn't let him do this. You must stop him. Don't let him, Kurt. You must stop him.
Don't bother yourself, Pierre. I don't suppose he can even understand you.
Now, Kurt! Now!
Apparently he does understand you. Kurt. Kurt, let go my arm. Kurt. Kurt, let go my arm. Kurt! Kurt, let go my arm! Kurt! Kurt, let go my arm! Kurt, let go my arm! Kurt, let go my arm!
Come on, Madam, wake up. Wake up! Madeline!
It's all right, Chloe. You'll be all right. Callistratus, get up. We're leaving here. You'll give us safe conduct as far as the main gate. Is that understood? If you do or say anything to stop us, I'll kill you. Madeline, you go first. Here's the key. Don't forget, if we don't get out of here safely,
open the doors, we're going out. Do as I say immediately. Open them up.
as soon as I've seen the commission, Callistratus, I shall be back.
Oh,